Hi, I'm Tony. I'm more than just a business owner. The craft wood turning is quite an old craft. I guess wood and ceramics was used thousands of years ago in all sorts of different ways. Nothing much has changed with wood turning other than the wood is revolved now with an electric motor. Other than that, we're still using hand chisels, cutting very similar ways to what the English used to do hundreds of years ago. We had several galleries as we were younger, inexperienced retailers, some of them successful, some weren't. We had a gallery in an old brick kiln and a small gallery in Darling Harbour, then built our own purpose-built gallery on Tamborine Mountain, a gallery and a house attached. And we started manufacturing woodwork as we were doing down at Tilbo. And in the Banksia we've been turning along with all those other timbers since the mid-80s. Well, the timber merchants in the 80s used to stock anything that hobby or professional wood turners or cabinet makers would want to buy, timbers from all around the world. Grass tree roots from Western Australia, and as part of their business they sold the Banksia nut. When we first started using the Banksia nut, we were turning probably mainly vases, then decided we would make a aromapod. It was quite a large one with a hand-turned lid. After we made a few of them, we realised how good the nut was at acting as a natural diffuser. We are pretty much the only producers in the world of the aromapod made from the Banksia nut. It's quite a tall tree, and there's quite a few different species of Banksia around Australia. On the eastern seaboard we've got one that produces a very small nut, and on the west coast they have the one that's huge. The nut has always been a part of Australian folklore. It's been in kids' nursery rhyme books, and I think a lot of Australians relate to it. Overseas and international tourists have never seen it before, so they're amazed at just the nut itself. When we show them how good it is as a natural diffuser, it makes it even better. It's something that people take overseas with them because it's such a unique Australian product. In the bush, when I'm out there picking nuts, or the pickers are out there picking nuts, it's just a sensational atmosphere out in the middle of the Jarrah Forest in Western Australia. The nuts are all collected once the seed has dropped out of the nut. When they see the finished product, I guess sometimes it's a bit hard to imagine what the natural product looked like. So we encourage all of our suppliers to have a natural nut so they can explain, it's made from this. A lot of people obviously wouldn't know what it does. So a lot of our people we supply will have them loaded up with eucalyptus oil. So when people see them, they get the smell, they realise what it is actually for. I guess people are concerned as well in this day and age about the life cycle of the tree, the processes that go into collecting the raw material. We get asked that question a lot. We're only allowed into the forest on foot, so we walk in there on foot, we pick the nuts that we're allowed to pick, walk out on foot, and it's in our best interest, of course, not to damage any of the young trees coming up, because in 20 years' time, that's the nuts that we'll be picking. I guess a lot of people don't realise the work and the process. Working in a hot shed, we're covered in dust for your whole life. It starts with the bushmen in Western Australia who have to work with Parks and Wildlife to get licences, keep records, reporting where they've been and what they've collected, out in the bush, treading over snakes, tripping over logs, walking through tea tree to get to the good nuts. in the stinking hot summers in Western Australia and the wet winters, taking that to a truckie's depot, and then the truckie getting it all ready and shipping over to here. And over here we're grading it, cutting the blanks and turning the product. It's then got to be sanded, and a whole team of girls that finish the product, put the eucalyptus oil in and package it up ready for sale. I guess a lot of people don't probably see that side of what we do. It's an extremely hard job at all levels. My wife, my children and my grandchildren. Haven't been able to work with my kids, being at home a lot when we work from home, so the kids could be with mum and dad every afternoon they got home from school, and having such a great team around us who support us through COVID, and having a great family business that's supported by all the customers. Everyone pitching in when it's hard, when it's hot, dusty. November's our busiest month, so everybody's under the pump. There's orders coming in quicker than we can get them out. Everyone's hot, sweaty, dusty, tired. So it's special that when you see people that at the end of the day they're totally exhausted. But with manufacturing and supplying a few hundred customers, your success relies on you getting your product to them on time and in full. So when you've got a team that can do that, that's special. Probably the number one thing is relaxing, taking a break, ready for the next week. Play a bit of golf, take one of the grandkids to footy. He's keen on footy, and spend a bit of time with the kids and the grandkids. Hi, I'm Tony. I'm more than a business owner. I'm a husband, father, grandfather, and lucky to be a creative artist that's able to work with my hands and make things that other people appreciate enough to buy.